And we are live. Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
Welcome to EMP.
I love those guys.
Well, I love you too, but this is Wednesday night with those guys, and as you know, it is sponsored by those guys. And this is where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. And if the weather has been nice where you are, please let me know in the chat how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones today. Please let me know. Lawrence, how are you doing on this wonderful Wednesday? Where the weather seems to be pretty decent. I'm expecting to see some rain later on, or within the
Yeah,
next.
so they say. So I'm good, man. I'm good. So they say we're supposed to have some. Yesterday, I had a great opportunity to record that lightning storm that went past in the distance. And of course, I didn't have anything charged. So now I'm sitting here with a charged GoPro 7, Hero 7.
Mhm.
So, but they claim that storm later on tonight is going to be like late night. And I have to get up in the morning to do something.
Wow.
But I'm good. What's up with you? Temperature's good though, provided you
Well,
have AC.
well, you know me. I'm just keeping the grass cut so I can see them snakes. But I'm
Yeah.
doing all right. Hold on a second. Somebody is at the door. I don't know
Okay.
why.
Well, anyway,
Oh,
welcome to Wednesday night with those guys. We appreciate you, John Coopy. What's good, man? How are you? Hope all is well. Um, we appreciate all you guys continuing to come back and support us and support the channel. Um, just don't forget to click that like button, and we hope you enjoy the stream. It should be pretty good. Tonight on the FPV Corner, I actually have a gentleman all the way from Nigeria, Africa. So this should be interesting. He's supposed to be 5 hours ahead of us. We discussed timing and everything, and I have him queued up on Messenger in case anything goes wrong. So let's see how that turns out. Anyway, how are you guys out there? You guys doing any flying? I know the weather's been real messed up around the northeast coast. Um, yeah,
I'm
north in the north mid to northeast coast here on the east of the United States. Um,
hmm
a lot of rain. Yesterday, New York was in a tornado watch area
hmm
for a few hours, and then that dissipated.
Well, you know what, Lawrence? I want to stop for a second because you know we were on last week Wednesday, and Wednesday happens to be right in the middle of the week where like I said before last week, we're in the middle of where a lot of things happen before we get on, and
Hmm.
and since we were on last, this tragic event that happened down in Texas, and with the floods, and my heart goes out to my prayers and to families and friends, people who were affected by this, loved ones lost. Uh, it is devastating.
Hmm.
When I'm listening to the news, I'm hearing about a camp, the little girls
Yeah,
washed away. This is just it's crazy.
yeah, definite condolences to all of the families that are going through what they're going through down
You
there in
know,
Texas.
and on Monday, like I said, we're on Wednesdays, but Monday I got this sent to me. And I'm looking at this, talking about a drone flying illegally. During the TFR that collided with a helicopter that was being used, I guess.
Yes. It says
Event.
it says please ground your drones until flood search and rescue operations are complete. Meaning that it's a TFR. Don't we understand you're trying to help or you're trying to get pictures, but if you're not certified or registered with the search mission, please keep your drones down. It says this afternoon a private drone illegally operating restricted airspace collided with a helicopter involved in emergency operations at Kerr County. The helicopter was forced to make an emergency landing, and a critical piece of equipment is now out of service because of this.
Wow, does that really make sense? You
No, it
know,
doesn't. But then you have more guys who fly drones that don't know the rules than guys that fly drones that actually know the rules.
it's just crazy sometimes. When you
You know,
hear
so
these things. And the thing is, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen, and a lot of guys do things, and you know, um, they get away with it. So it's no harm, no foul.
right.
Un- why does it have to be until when? You know what I mean? Or when it does happen.
Or it's not going to happen to me.
Well, that's the attitude that causes it to happen. To,
Yeah.
you know, that causes the action. But like this guy might have done stuff like this before. I'm not saying that he did. I'm just saying he may have, and he got away with it so many times that one time. How
Hmm.
many times as a kid you got away with something, and it was just that one time, and then you got caught.
True.
It's the
True.
same
True.
thing. You know what I mean? It
This
applies
is
the same
true.
thing. So listen. It's scary the things that people think and do. I don't know. This is me. But you know what? On a lighter note, that's what's coming up in September is that big meetup. What was it the Northeast U.S. Drone Meetup going on up in Rhode Island, Marks? That's September
Yes.
5th through the 7th. You got to get there. You got to get there. It's the meet and greet
We
on
will do our best to be there, even though it's football season
It's
for,
the
for
meet and
the
greet on hold on the 5th at Snookers. That's the sports bar and billiards club over there. So make sure you check that out. And the day of the meetup happens to be the 6th. And they got a couple of different locations out here for guys to go and fly. So make sure you make this meetup. And the 7th, I don't know if they got an AM rise flight, but there might be something planned. So don't forget to make this meetup. Check out the link in the description, everyone, because there's the hotel and everything down there that you can just help yourself and make sure you make this meetup. What you were saying now, Lars?
Yeah, please, please, please do. We will be there, even though it's football season. We will, and it kind of falls in between, because Herman being a defensive coach for the team, and me being a cameraman for the team. Uh, I'm there on game days. Herman's there
Every
training
day.
them or whatever. Right, right. During the week, he's with them more than I am. I only have to show up on game day, but we will be up there specifically, to shake hands, meet and greet people, grab a few guys by the neck, and say, "Yo, what's up?" I'm just playing. We will definitely be there, though.
Give them
Hey,
that,
Louisiana, what you say?
give them the kiss of death.
No, 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 I wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
no.
Just grab them by the neck and say, "Yo, what's up?"
Oh,
Just
no, but
one or two
no.
people, huh?
Yeah. There's you saw that video, right? I mean, I'm quite sure everybody saw that. Like the
Which video?
the one shot of that the Mavic 4 Pro on
Yes,
Everest
yes,
to
I
the
did.
all the way to the summit. Now it's a long video, that's why we're not going to show it. But but
Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
it's long.
Yes, yes, Eldon.
It's the whole
September
rise
6th.
to the top, and you can see different campsites along the way up, and guys making their way to the summit on that. And that
Yeah,
in that
yeah, because they have to leave in different groups.
right, right, and it's like all the way from the base camp they went up.
Hmm.
That. True. I saw the movie. And I wouldn't want to fly
I it looked scary. It
that.
looked like it was going to be a one-way trip, but apparently not. From what I understand, these guys did some work on the drone to
Mhm.
tune it to
Yeah,
be able to fly in thinner air. It's not like down here at sea level where we are. The air
mhm.
is thick, there's moisture, there's always wind. Well, there's wind up there, and then you got to remember the air is cold enough to freeze anything on contact. So the props had to be
It's
prepped
cold.
with some type of material or something over it to keep the props from freezing, and they had to adjust the motors to actually, like I said, so they could spin faster with less
Yeah.
air. But they did it. We have the link. I'm actually going to put the link in the chat. If you guys
I thought
haven't
it was
seen,
crazy. Like, how high are they going to go? Because, like I said,
that's the link
when,
right there.
when you see the movie makes you fear that mountain.
True, true. That is
Mhm.
very much true.
And listen,
Lawrence reminded me of your name. LOL. Oh, oh, Eldon. Oh, I'm
can't
trying to
go up
keep up
there.
with the chat and multitask here at the same time. But
Yeah, I can't.
anyway, I thought it was interesting. It's a 2 minute and 26 second video. First drone to ever do it. Now, this guy that did this, Herman, also said he's lost drones
Doing
before,
out all the
trying
fake.
to not. This is the first time he tried to traverse up. He was at
Right.
the top and tried to fly down, and
Uh-huh.
he lost a few drones, or he had a lot of difficulties, props breaking or whatever.
So let me see if I got this right. He's climbed all the way up there.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. In fact, I
The
have
brave man. I'm telling you, I watched
you
the
have the
movie.
picture. You have the picture of the yeah. That's what we're not showing here. But I posted the link to the video in the chat if you
The
guys
picture.
want to.
I only had the video clip for the introduction.
Okay, hold on a second. I can pull up the picture in another tab. Just click on that. Go there. Go here. Share screen. So you guys don't know what we're talking about. They took a DJI Mavic 4 Pro and took it to the tallest mountain in the world, which is Mount Everest. And at its peak, this guy that's standing here, this is actual footage from it. This guy standing here is one of the guys that was just up there. People hike it alone, people hike it in groups, people die up here on the regular. But they took a Mavic 4 to the top.
Do they die up there on a regular? I mean, like I said, I've seen the movie.
Listen, a lot of people have to turn around and go back. I know
Yeah, I
that.
know. It's not an easy climb for those who
No,
are
it's not.
experienced.
Professional. It's very challenging because it takes about a week. If you do it at a
A
decent
week.
speed, it'll take about a week to get
Oh,
from the
damn
base
that.
camp to the top because you can't do it in one run. You have to stop at night
So,
because the temperatures drop
so it's better to
below.
do it. So it's better to do it during the summer. That way, the winter up there is not as bad.
Yeah. Explicit says he wants to take he wants to take the flying potato up there. Well, put
Uh,
it this way: the death rate climbing Mount Everest, and I'm going to Google it right now. But I recall one time people were dying a few years back at an alarming rate.
were they? But you know what, Lawrence? I don't know if that was the case. But,
Okay,
was it?
I'm going to see now. Hold on.
I'm just saying.
What is the death rate at Mount Everest? Okay, it says about wow. It says the death rate for climbers Mount Everest approximately
Yeah,
1%, which means for every 100 climbers who attempt to summit, one is likely to die. So they have thousands a year. So they said for every 100, at least one dies.
okay.
And they have thousands. You have to plan the trip years in it out because that's how much the wait. That's how the waiting list is to climb it. Because then after you climb it, you still got to traverse down.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
but
good.
anyway, watch that video. First time ever DJI drone traversing the traversing Mount Everest.
You know
I
what?
thought it was interesting. I enjoyed the video, but I'm like, yo, I'd have been paranoid. And how did he?
Would you?
Well, I do you think he used a booster like a ground station? Because to do a trip like that, I would use a ground station.
I don't know. You remember? Listen. I don't know. I mean,
If I was flying FPV, I'd have a ground station. John
because
Coopy, wouldn't you?
you see how far they've been able to get connection with certain drones, and we've watched
True.
certain videos with older drones that got great connection from mountains and stuff like that. Now it wasn't as high, but we weren't talking about nearly the same quite technology either.
True. That is very true. But this fact that the DJI Mavic 4 withheld temperatures, did not overheat, maintained battery, because that
Well,
was a trip.
the thing is also like how much heat does the drone produce to
In extreme
as
cold,
as no period to
yeah,
run as opposed to the coal is out there. You understand?
yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
You
Good
know,
point. Good point.
listen, I've seen other videos, like I said, with lesser technology, flying in the cold and extreme cold like that.
Yeah, you see what explicit FPV put? I would think something too. He says I would imagine they would keep the batteries heated so they didn't
Yes,
die almost immediately, because we used to do that with the Phantom 4 batteries, and
right.
FPV pilots
You
have to
you
do it.
have to do that. You
Yes,
have to
if you
do
don't keep a hand warmer in with your batteries, you're not going to get much time. Definitely not going to get much time.
that. But you know what, though, Lawrence? There was
Yes,
also
it's
an update to the Fly app.
yes.
Yeah, it supposedly fixed some issues and the overall quality of the app.
Um,
But
and they say they've introduced some perks, especially for the DJI Flip.
right for the flip.
Yeah,
Hey, there
so
goes Flash again.
have we seen anyone
But
who actually owns a Flip? I'd like to
yes,
see
there's a few
one.
people out there that own the flip.
I'll do a
If I'm
search
not
for it
mistaken, I
on.
think Dreamer has a flip. If I'm not, I don't know. I thought he did. I could be wrong, but you know what, Lawrence? It's actually time to do a roll call because for some god unknown reason,
We're 8 minutes ahead,
uh,
past.
huh,
Okay. All
yeah,
right, real quick,
so
real quick.
we got
We're
to
gonna
get
get
into
this started.
call mode.
14,410. Damn.
Ooh, 14,000.
Lance said he had climbed the mountain. I was asking him how tall. He said it was 14,410, half as high as Everest.
Okay,
All right, let's get the roll call going.
all right.
Okay. Shout out starting from the bottom. John Coopy, I agree with you. Ground station would be the best, but now with DJI FPV systems, shout out to you. Jim's droning up in Canada. What's up, Jim? I hope all is well with you. Jim has a flip as well, he says. Shout out to Ron, RJ Aerials.
Ron,
Big shout out to you. Hope you're already home from work, Ron. Hope all is well. Lance Cadena, 14,410 mountain climbing man. You're a bad man. Shout out to Waypoint, New England. Hope all is well up north there. You guys should have some nice weather coming that way. Explicit FPV. Thanks for coming in. We have a guy from all the way from Nigeria, Africa on
okay.
FPV Corner. Shout out to CT Pirate all the way up in Connecticut. Hope all is well with you. Waypoint, New England. I did say Waypoint. I think that's about it. No, Bull Rider in Mexico. Got to give him a shout out and a couple more.
Oh,
That's
there we
Big
go.
Birds retired in Mexico. Takeoff, lift, and land. Eldon, representing the Bronx, Louisiana Helicam.
Hold on.
Shout
You
out.
said more. Hold on. You got how many was that? Two?
I said 2 or 3 more. So, shout out to Louisiana Helicam, Eldon, Takeoff, Lift, and Land. And I think that's Hill Ave Fleet. Shout out to you, brother. Underhill Ave Fleet. He was in here early. I don't know if he's still here. I'm going all the way back. Northside Hawk. Good morning to you. Down under in Australia. It's a morning show. We're a morning show over there. And I think that's it, bro. We're good. SJM Steve. Sorry, Steve.
Oh,
It was way back.
We forgot. Bang, one more for Steve.
One more for Steve. Steve gets. Yes. CT Pirate, explicit FPVs in Connecticut. He wants to know where you're at. What is the deadliest mountain in the lower 48 states? The White House. No,
No,
I'm just joking. Lance put
you
that
know what?
question. Lance put the question in the
Hold on
chat,
a
and
second.
I was being an ass about it.
100 and something feet to the top of what was that there? What was that there? What was that park up there? Up in
Inwood Hill.
Inwood Hill, and I was done. That's it.
Yeah, that was a 10-story walk up. An experience. Okay, we got 9 minutes to our first sponsor.
Really, do we?
We did the DJI update for the Fly app, which I
Can't
have to do. I've been ignoring it due to work.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just crash it right into the side of the place. You're
All
insured,
right,
right?
so what's up? Welcome to Wednesday night with those guys. It'll be a decent. It should be a pretty decent night tonight. We have a few things you guys might be interested
There's
in
a
talking
couple of
about.
things to talk about. I mean, you've probably heard some of it already and seen some of it already, but you haven't seen it and heard it this way. And then there's other things that you probably haven't seen or heard. There's some other things that you might be interested in. But the one thing that I did want to get into real quick, Lawrence, was the fact that, woo-wee, your good old people at Amazon, right? From what I'm seeing, they have going on right now, right? What Amazon? We had some top deals from Amazon, but the biggest uh, DJI Prime Day sales ever, from what
Yes,
I'm
yes,
understanding,
yes.
and they start right out the box with the good old Neo that everybody seemed to love when it was. We did all. Everybody's been talking. It was talking about it before it came out, and now that it's out, it's a nice little drone you can
Yeah,
knock
but
around.
now it's a stocking stuffer price.
Right, or indoor, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. Look at the price on it now. The price is reasonable. You know what I mean? At
More than reasonable. I listen. The fact
150.
that they're giving up a $200 drone for $160, the
Yeah, but
Neo.
yeah, and then do they have what else do they have on that though? Do they?
With it,
Oh,
you get
oh,
one
they
battery,
do.
you get one battery with the drone. That's it.
Yeah,
That's what
they do offer the ability to get the what?
the
Nope.
fly more combo.
Yeah, they do have it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
for 289. You know,
no
what
for 229. 229.
is it 229?
Yeah, the fly more combo also discounted
Okay.
to 229 from
Yeah, I
280.
see that.
It was 289. It was originally 289. It's discounted
Ah,
to $230. So for $230, you could have a fly more combo. Yeah, guys, thanks. Explicit. Hit that like button.
jump jump on it. You know what I
That's
mean?
not bad, but there are other prices on stuff. The DJI Mini 4K. You
Yeah, the
guys
mini
remember,
4K.
it will not die. That drone. It will be here forever because
That drone
they
is like
sell.
Gumby.
I know they sell those things, bro. A lot of them. The 4K was originally $299. It's now going for $239.
And isn't that a repackaged with the Mini 2?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a repackage. Yes. Now, if you want the fly more combo with the Mini 4, to keep in mind, 30-minute flight time, 250 grams. You don't have to
Are
register
they
it.
still offering at that price? Yeah. It's still out
Yeah.
there on that price.
Yes, yes, yes. They still have it. Normally it's $450. They have it for $360
Yeah. Can't beat that. Because
on
right now you see it.
Amazon.
And honestly, I was looking at some of these things, right? Not all of these are from third parties. Some of these are actual from Amazon itself that
Right.
says sold and fulfilled by Amazon. You just have to look at the ones that are actually out there at that. So to see that,
See,
you know, what you say?
No, go ahead. I was responding in the chat.
No, so I was noticing that with some of them, and not all of them. Not there's very far few in between that fall into that category, because we were up to what now, the Air 3.
Yes, the
That's
Air
on a
3.
reduced price of
Eh,
$934, right? Now
Yes,
that's
from $1,100 to $934. But there's always bullshit behind but with the original RCN2 controller. So that comes with no screen.
yeah. I mean, but
But
it's
for less than $1,000 for the Air 3, that's crazy.
listen. If you wanted that controller, if you want the controller with the fancy doodad screen, you got to pay a little bit more.
Yeah, of course, of course. 46-minute flight time. It took over $160 off that one, off that deal. And then also for you GoPro camera guys, they
All
have
right.
the
See, okay, let's go back here, right? Once again, right? That one here, what was that? You said that was the Air 3, right?
yep,
With the flu controller, right?
yep.
That's sold by Amazon and shipped from Amazon.
Okay, so that's good. So you know you'll get it straight. You'll get it in a day or two.
Right. So
That's
you
good.
know
But
there's
keep
no
in mind
problem
some
with
of this
that.
Amazon stuff, like Herman said, is third party. And you may not get it in 2 days. You may get it in
Now,
3 days to a week.
if you wanted to fly more with that fancy controller,
Hey, Warren.
it's another thing. I don't believe that Amazon is handling that if you click on that one. So
Yeah, yeah. If it takes you to another link, that's
yeah,
definitely third party. But also for you action camera
but they
guys,
have all the protection plans on there. So if you're
yeah,
interested,
you're covered.
yeah, go ahead with the action cam.
This is crazy price. The Action 4 was $290. It's
Mhm.
$200 right now.
Right.
Straight $200. 31% off they're claiming.
Yeah. Well, that
And
was I
and
guess
and huh?
that was uh that was the one that
What happened?
no, no, because I just think that the difference between this one and the 5 was so minimal.
It was, but if you want
This
this
one
one,
was a little bit better than the one before it because of the sensor and everything. But all of a
yeah.
sudden, you know, this,
They have that D log M color profile that
right,
they've been adding to their cameras, so
it's
that's
a
a
great
plus.
buy.
And now
And
most of the
you have you have also the what is it the combo package with this?
combo package is
The
$400
adventure
is
combo.
now 309.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good.
hmm They
That's good to
still,
know.
yeah, they still have the adventure combo. And see, once again, here we go. This is shipped and is sold by Amazon. So
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about that. They also have some that are like a little used that are reduced even reduced price from there. But they
Okay.
do have all of the protection plans here for you, the 2 year and 3 year plan. So if that's something you're looking for, then
Mm-hmm.
you can't go wrong because they step in right up in with the going to bat with the Osmo Mobile 7. Now, for
Yep.
you guys that have these fancy cell phones, this is for you. You
Right.
iPhone users that got Mr. Movie in your back pocket. You can put it on
With the telescopic
right
selfie stick.
everything
Yeah,
for
telescopic one.
126. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people
I
are
said,
still
yeah.
making movies with phones using those.
hmm
I see a lot of influencers still using them.
hmm
And
And
here's
then
key, the best deal. I think
the
this is,
power
if you don't
stations,
jump on
right?
this right here, this is
Yeah,
crazy. A
power stations.
$500, huh?
You got to get one of these power stations just to have it, for just for having it have sake. Because you got the power. What was that 500?
Mm-hmm.
It's on nice reduced price here of $313, which is not too bad. But excuse me, the best deal has always been on the Power 1000, which is
Yeah.
now its lowest price ever of
We're 1 minute past
470.
sponsor.
We'll get them in a minute. It's the Power 1000 is now at 17. It's at its lowest price ever. If
Mm-hmm.
you need one, jump on it. It's
You
still a
never
great
seen
buy.
right.
Power 2000 is out. And
Even with the Power 2000 out, you can't beat this deal right here.
speaking about the Power 2000, I just happened to speak to the people over at B&H, and right now they're playing the waiting game too.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So whatever they have in stock as far as the 500 and the 1000, they have those in stock. The expansion battery, whatever that they have in their warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else other than that, if it's out of stock, they're playing the waiting game too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
You know,
That
they have
is.
order,
That is.
but they're playing the waiting game too. So if anybody's telling you that stock is coming in sparingly to this one and that one, and they can get this and they can get that, they're lying to you.
They're lying to you. Yes, they are. If you hear, yeah,
So
basically they're lying to you, because I've heard of a few stories of people
so
miraculously getting DJI Mavic 4s in, but yet I've yet to see them film a video with it or take a picture with it. So let's just don't believe everything you hear on
I'm
the
just saying,
internet.
I saw that I called them and I wanted to ask them because, wait a minute. Can I do it?
If they ever planned on getting any in, right?
Well, not if they planned on getting on the end, if they had it in stock, is what I wanted to know.
Right.
And they told me that they were playing the waiting game. They don't have them in stock, but they were waiting. Just like any other drone that's out of stock on their site, they're waiting.
Okay.
They'll notify you when. That's what I was told.
Okay, Ron. Be safe. 4 minutes past sponsor.
Okay, so let's go to the sponsor and we'll be back.
For a live stream that talks about everything in the drone world. Tune in every Wednesday night to Wednesday Night with those guys.
All right. Now you happy the sponsor was there? The sponsor came in. Sponsor is okay. Let's go. Now. Moving right along. No, seriously, talking about we were on the Amazon deals, right? And we're talking about the Power 1000. No, the Power 1000 and stuff like that. Like I said, for the whichever and this and I think this happens to go with all of the drones as well. Whoever has whatever in stock, you might just have to go with some of these other local dealers and other distributors other than than DJI. And whatever they have in stock is whatever they have in stock.
Right.
Until this clears up, it's whatever they have in stock.
Well, they've even extended the day, so
On the who?
the Prime, whatever it is, they extended it to
It's a couple of days. They still got a few days left, like to the 11th, right?
Tim's droning. DJI Canadian site pulled Mavic 4, so you guys can't cross the border to Canada to get how ridiculous. Wow.
So how are you guys buying it?
Yeah. How are you guys getting the Mavic 4? There's a few guys I know in Canada that have it.
So if that's what they're doing, how are you guys getting it? or are they putting a limited amount that you can only buy one at a time?
Yeah, right. Or if it crosses over into American airspace, it drops up from the sky. What? That's a good one though.
Or the DJI store,
Amazon next day.
or the
Hey, John.
DJI store in Canada told you to stop bringing your American friends in here.
If you come back here with your American friends talking about they're becoming a citizen, thinking about becoming a citizen,
I know a
just to
fake,
buy drones and go back to the States
Canadian
with them.
ID when I see it.
Could you imagine? I think this is going to be the year of no DJI drones for the U.S. I think it's going to extend for
Is it
about 2 years, John,
the year of
because they still have the Mini. They come Mini 5 they want to come out with, and there's talk of about a 3. So I know people are going to go crazy if those come out and they can't get their hands on them. That's going to be interesting, right, Herman?
What? The Avata 3, if it can't.
The Avata 3, the Mini 5.
Well, you know what? The Mini was talked for August, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah.
like I said, the Amazon Prime deals, if that's something that suits you, something you need, knock yourself out, because it's gonna be hard pressed finding anything else out there right now from DJI until, like I said, this clears up.
Well, yeah, people are literally going to buy stuff knowing that they may not have a chance to buy it later now.
So literally going to go crazy out there.
China's building warehouses in the U.S. and mailing stuff to themselves.
That's what it is?
I guess.
Who said this?
Yo, I'm just now seeing that the sponsor play, but I didn't even hear it. Is that something new Evil Mux is doing?
No, that's just you.
Oh, well, I don't know.
How was your studio?
The 3, the Neo 2, and the Air 4, he would buy all 3, provided we can get them.
What?
The Avata 3, the Neo 2, and the Air 4.
Okay.
Eldon says he would buy all 3. Because they would be that much of a dramatic difference from the first one. I agree with that. If you buy them incrementally in order, you see little adjustments. But if you buy or skip a version, it's worth. I agree with Eldon on that.
But that would be just the second version of the what do you call it?
The Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if he didn't get the first one,
but my thing.
I know. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you.
but what I'm saying to you is this: when it comes to these drones, right? When you start talking about incremental things, right? All they do is play with software when it comes to the camera. And as far as the drone is concerned, you get a slightly different shape to the drone, and it play the same nonsense the automobile industry plays, and a little bit more range on the transmission system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And a couple of different things they add into the software for the camera, for as far as the to do a couple of different photos and stuff. Other than that, because in all actuality, right, unless you did something software wise, the Mavic 4, right, using the same sensor and the same 4/3 sensor as the Mavic 3 would technically be the same thing, right?
Right.
That's why when you said Mavic 4 Classic, I said, well, all it would be is a Mavic 3 with a round
Mavic 3 camera, right?
With a round head.
Yeah.
because it'll only be the 4/3 sensor, but you would have to do something as far as
Extra.
that software is concerned to make that camera better. Other than that, it should be the same thing.
True. True. Just put it in a rotating camera.
Unless unless you added something to say it's like
Yeah, you see what John
absolute
Kuby put? Time to start learning self-repair of DJI. I agree. You remember Twan? We
you
had
you
dude. He was repairing people's DJI drones and yeah, he made a little bit of money from some people.
yeah
I remember that. I remember.
yeah
I
uh-huh.
got my first and only
You ever
Mavic
you
Pro
ever
from
see
him
those you ever see those guys that drive around
with the truck
and
sharpening knives.
no
What?
no
What?
I could get rid of I could take that dent out the car for you.
Oh, the jacks. We call them jacks. Yeah,
That's what you talking about?
yeah.
A whole lot of bondo and a little bit of wah, and
Hmm.
your drone is fixed. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, because I brought, those of you who don't remember the Mavic Pro, the camera was supported with rubber bands. And I got a Mavic Pro from this guy that he refurbished. And I decided to turn it upside down and see why the camera was kind of tilted some. And one of the rubber bands had actually popped and he just melted it back. Which I guess it worked for what it did. I still have that Mavic Pro. It still freaking flies. Just it can't handle windy days. The camera turned this way. So just make sure if you go to somebody who repairs your DJI drones, they're an authorized dealer or John
Yo,
Coop.
yo, check this out. If you take your car in to get repairs,
Yeah.
and the guy is taking the brakes off the floor and putting on your car, he got them
Hmm.
off a pile of brakes on the floor.
Yeah.
Get back
Yeah.
in your car and go
And drive
someplace
off.
else.
And drive off. Yes, definitely. Could you imagine? These bootleg DJI shops now opening up? We
No, wait.
repair
You
DJI
remember?
drones. We're authorized.
Hold on. See, this is how far back you want to talk. Remember Brooklyn drones?
Yep.
My man left town with people's drones in there for repair.
I remember there was a big thing where the
You know,
people were lined up
people wanted to
outside the
kill him.
store because they couldn't get to their drones, and the drones were in, and people could see it through the gates. They could see boxes and drones and stuff. What was the deal with that? He just skipped town with people's money, or he was running from the mob?
Don't
What?
know. I
And you
don't know.
guys don't know, there was a Brooklyn, there was a drone shop that opened up in Brooklyn, and it was doing quite well, selling DJI drones. They were doing repairs, they were doing everything right. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, dude disappeared. The shop never opened up. No one heard of a robbery, anything, right?
Gone.
Just
Disappeared.
right, yeah. And no one
Gate
could
never
find that
opened
the
again.
owner. No, they. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, there was a lot of stuff left in that store, bro. Whoever opened that store up probably didn't give a damn about a drone. That's what's funny. Whoever's rented the building or the owner of the building finally
Mhm.
went in there.
But you know what, Lawrence, we gotta get to?
Yeah.
We we were talking the other day, right? And you remember all of the talk. I remember we because a few weeks back we spoke on the Osmo 360, and we were wondering. I remember I said to you, I think that stuff is probably dead because for so long we had to talk. This
Mhm.
is a long time back, right?
Yeah.
So now we start now see more. So it's a man Igor, or not Igor, but Jasper, and the good old people over at Drone XL had the exclusive on it. They had the skinny on it. And as we know, there was a release date and the specs on that. So we have
Yes.
release date,
Yes. Yes.
supposedly July
Osmo
29th.
360.
So it's coming up around the end of the month. And
Right.
from what I'm understanding, there is a lot of things that we have here. If you go, if anybody who's looking, if you haven't seen it, and you probably maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but there's the article in Drone XL because they get into talking about the key features and specs on it, and the one thing that jumps out again with this is the fact that it has the 1-inch sensor and the 4K at 120. So, as you know, there's a lot of things happening here.
Yeah,
Two,
yeah. Definition, true 8K definition. Okay, true 8K definition, 120 million pixels. They're packing a lot of punch in this 360, bro. 4K 120 frames per second resolution, image stabilizer, waterproof out the box. There's a lot
really
this stuff
out the
waterproof out the
box.
box up to 4 feet. That's not
That's it.
bad.
No, it's not. It's not bad at all. But they also what they have exclusive the pictures from Drone XL from what I was looking at. They have what is that? The adventure combo. Yeah, the adventure combo looks quite interesting. You're getting 3 batteries and a selfie stick with that joint.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Invisible selfie
And the
stick.
magnetic connect. Yeah. So that's
Yes,
going
yes.
to
Magnetic connector, so you
yeah.
can connect it through your T-shirt. That's
Hmm.
interesting.
And this joint is shooting what 10-bit D-Log. Wow,
Yes, yes,
wow. And
yes.
native 8K 360 video you was mentioning. So
Hmm.
there's a close-up photo they have of the screen. You know,
Hold on. Right here. This is what? What were you? Oh, I might have missed
so
it
I
then.
had a close-up photo
Oh,
of
of
the
that
screen.
screen. Yeah, it's supposed to be 5 centimeters, which is looks like it's more like about 2.5 inches, give or take.
Well, I don't know what you think because the fact that we're talking about, we're looking at what 4K 120, right? We were mentioning with
Mm-hmm.
the 170-degree ultra wide angle. So I'm curious to see what this is like because I told you to me it looked like a body cam, and I was really interested in it. you know, I
Yeah.
was really interested because it has also gesture and voice control.
Yes, yes, yes. Because for some people who make mistakes gesturing in the background, someone may
Hmm.
put their hand up and wave, and it would stop. It would stop the video because the gesture control. So now with voice control, you can eliminate that. I guess if you're by yourself, you put your hand up and gesture, take picture, and it'll start recording. And then when you put your hand up, it'll stop again. But
Right.
with voice control, like me, I turn my all my GoPros off. I say GoPro turn off, and they shut off.
Well, the thing
You
that
know,
I like about the
hey
whole
Uncle
thing
Bill.
is being able to get the Osmo 360 extension battery bar, which
Yes,
I think is going to be nice. I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
going to be a
Which
nice
it takes it
feature.
from 100 minutes to 180 minutes, which puts you just over that 2 hour mark easily.
Right. So we were also talking about the magnetic quick releases and the selfie stick and the invisible selfie stick and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is packing a lot. It's packing up. It's packing it. It's
He
packing it
thinks
in.
FTFO says he thinks the form factor is better than the 360 and the X5 just because it isn't as tall. I would
Hmm.
agree. I would agree with that because you gotta break that mold, and DJI has a way of breaking that mold and stepping out, thinking outside of the box. And even though this stuff looks different, it just works
Hmm.
so much better for people.
Okay.
Maybe it's just call me
Well,
DJI fanboy. or whatever. But then, okay, if you don't want me to be a DJI fanboy, create something that I could rave over like I do DJI drones, and I'll buy that. And I'm not
True, I
talking about,
hear
and
you.
I'm not talking about the same drone, Herman, as a Mavic 3 Pro, and paying $20,000 for it.
I hear you because they have the adventure combo. Well, they also have the standard bundle.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, this standard package right here is just great for me. It standard quarter-inch thread, so you can put it on any selfie. You can put
Hmm.
it on any standardized selfie stick. Which, FYI, Herman, this this
I'm curious to
oh,
know if the batteries are all the same.
can't see it. This came today.
No, you can't. What is it?
You can see that
No.
selfie stick, 79 inch selfie stick with stand. It came
Okay.
today. I
So now
needed one.
you can see. So now you can see.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
got you.
yeah, yeah. And
Now,
adjusted.
so we can get through this before we get into the
Hmm.
FPV corner.
Yes,
We
yes.
happen to get into this release is also featuring you know the the microphones as well. The
Yes.
new mics,
Uh-huh.
and these new mics have their own little packages and stuff like that, and bundles that they have put together. And the one that I see here was just was it
Yes,
transmitter only?
this is the standard
It was just
charger, two transmitters, one
was
RX.
this is transmitter only and with microphone. So
Hmm.
I don't know how they. I don't know. It's interesting how this works. 'Cause
You notice the
this thing,
microphones keep
this thing,
getting smaller.
yeah, this thing actually looks like earmuffs. The little pouch thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like earmuffs. But the
I
mics, the
hate,
mics,
hate
the
Dre.
mics seem to be getting better. And all of these things have that the Osmo audio, so they have direct connect to all of the devices with these. And I think these are compatible with a few different devices, but not anything. None of
from
the
from the DJI Mic 1. The
right.
DJI Mic 2, the DJI new Mic 3 will connect to the 360 camera also.
Yes.
It will connect to that so that you can get that 360 camera and mic up people.
Hmm.
And from what I understand, they both launching on the same day.
Now, from what I'm also understanding, that like we were saying before, that the weight was on for the Nano because
Hmm.
they also have with this a another uh, what do you call it? Another bundle with this that happens to have the charging the
Yeah,
charging.
the charging case, I believe two magnetic strips,
Hmm.
two receivers, two transmitters, one receiver, and
It's
different
in there.
charging wires. I see that little wire that like you have that you take our mic system and plug into your camera. I see
Mhm.
they have that same wire system there.
So you can plug your receiver
You
into
can
a
right.
transmitter.
You can plug it into a camera or some
Mhm.
other media device for direct audio recording. Well, let's see what the
Hey,
price is going to be.
I'm interested in seeing the launch on this on the 29th because there's a few things happening here.
Right.
From what I'm understanding, that the Nano that you were interested in, you're talking about this thing is going to wait till August for it. So maybe it'll be around the same time with the Mini 5. Maybe all of this problems will be cleared up by then. But also the
I would
thing,
hope.
yeah, well, but the thing what I was interested in finding out was the fact that you know, what I liked so much about some of the things that I've seen with from what I understand about the Nano. I don't know if it's going to happen with the 360, um, unless I read it wrong. But
Right.
there's supposed to be, when you're doing, like, say you're doing videos, like, because this thing is like an action camera. Because if you look at the uh, the FCC specs and the license, it's two numbers, so it's two pieces, similar to, like, remember what was that, the Osmo Action 2? It came as
Yes.
a modular piece, and it was two different pieces. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now I think it's something similar to that,
Okay.
uh, but the fact that you can sync and layer your because this is what DJI is doing now, being able to layer your information, the footage. So, like, you're on your bike, right? You're out riding your bike, and you got your Nano on. You'll be able to get that footage and layer the information from your smartwatch.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, your heart rate and your pulse on top of the
Yep.
footage. I
That's
think
crazy.
that's a nice feature.
Yeah, adding
So,
different types of telemetry and stuff like that.
mhm.
It's all about telemetry and what you can read or find out about your body or something around you that you're using without checking so much. Um, like that ring. I had no idea that ring that they buy does so much through your phone. Do you
Right, right.
know if that ring is banged or slammed, it will dial out from your phone someone in your contacts that you've listed that they may have been in a car accident or fallen?
Really?
Yes. And or their heart rate has slowed down.
Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we see you.
So, you know what, Lawrence?
Yes,
We
yes,
got
it's that time.
coming up right now. Yeah, we got this that time for FPV Corner. So come
Yes.
in, FPV Corner.
Okay. I'd like to welcome you to Wednesday night with those guys. This is the FPV
Hello.
segment where we have Mr. Stefan Akaf, Akafor. Please pronounce your last name so I say it properly.
Yeah, Okafor.
Okafor.
Yeah,
Okay.
Is it Okafor or how did I pronounce it? What's the proper
Okafor.
one? Okafor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first I'd like to let you guys know
Okay.
this gentleman is up late in Nigeria, Africa. I appreciate you because it's hard to get times together. Right now it's 6 o'clock here in New York City, which means it's about 11 o'clock in Nigeria, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
sorry for
So
keeping you up that late.
Yeah. Of course.
thanks for coming on with this
Thank
segment,
you.
FPV Corner. Those of you who don't know this gentleman, he is an FPV pilot from Nigeria, and
Yeah.
I met him in a drone group on Facebook called Black Drone Pilots.
Okay.
And I follow him. I
Seen his
follow,
work.
huh?
I've seen his work.
Yes, yes. We see the stuff that you put up on in the group and on YouTube. I have his YouTube link here. I'll put it in the chat in a second. Quick question. How
Yeah.
long have you been flying? And
I've
and
been flying professionally for like 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
wow. That's a minute. So you've been doing your thing for a minute. And how do you pronounce your air? How do you pronounce your media company? It's Semostev
Yes, Semostev Media.
Semostev Media. Okay. How long have you had Semostev Media? Because that's the video that I'm going to show these guys. Your
Yeah, I
promo
started
video.
Semostev Media 2016 after my film school because I studied cinematography. Then before I went
Oh,
into
okay. So you've been flying for a while. You've watched FPV change from
yeah,
analog to digital,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What are you flying? What protocol do you fly? ELRS? Do you fly Crossfire? Are you flying digital? Are you flying analog? I know what you're flying, but the people in the chat don't know what you're flying.
Yeah, I fly digital LRS.
Okay, you
Okay.
fly digital ELRS, and for video protocol, you use DJI.
DJI, yes.
Okay, you using the O3, or you starting to switch over to the O4, or what's happening?
Yeah, firstly, I started with the Vista unit, then I switched to the O3 unit. Then, hopefully this year I'm going to the O4 because I've not built a quad with the O4 unit for now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a little pissed because I just recently switched over to O3 about 2 years ago, and now you cannot get any O3s or anything DJI here in the States. There's still stuff here, but it's getting harder to get. Where the O3 unit used to be 100 US, 180 US dollars. I don't know how much that translates to over in money in Nigeria, but now that same thing, people are asking 314 US dollars, almost double
Yeah.
for it. But I want to show you a video. This is your promo video. The guys, you do a lot of chase scenes, I notice. You like chase scenes. What do you like to do? You like chase scenes. You don't dive buildings much. I always see you chasing something.
Yeah, I do dive in here, but most of the stuff I put out there is what the jobs I've done for some clients, you understand. So they mostly call me for action scenes which requires chasing and all,
Well, I
but
wanted to ask you about that too, because I see you do a lot of military stuff. Is this for actual military or movie stuff or movie and military?
yeah, so for the military, it's mostly documentary. You understand? I shoot
Okay.
FPV. Yeah. So when they have some exercise, like they want to showcase what they do, so they call me. Sometimes I fly the drone. Sometimes I direct the shoot. You understand? But for the
Okay.
film aspects, that's when they require me to do some chasing and all.
All right. Well, I have your your promo video set up to play now. You could
Okay.
talk over it. You can talk over the video if you want, or we can wait until it's finished. But this is a promo video that you've done.
Yes, for this.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And all of these places are in Africa or throughout Africa, throughout Nigeria. I've seen you in Laos before.
In Nigeria.
Okay, a lot of these are shot in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, was this for military or was that documentary?
Yeah,
Documentary.
this is just like a reel, you understand? Like a show reel for a year. So most of all those military shots are part of the documentary.
Let's see. Like I said, you're always chasing something, and that's what got me because you have a good style. Your introduction, diving down from buildings, chasing motorcycles, chasing cars, you make it look easy, and I know it's not.
It's not.
Now, do you have a camera crew that works with you, or a crew of people? What do you do?
Yeah, for now I work with I've not done
Okay.
that where I hire
Well, I just wanted to say that I appreciate your work, and you got to keep pushing more. You got to keep doing what you're doing. Looks like you're having a lot of fun. Do you do anything outside of? I just stopped that. Do you do? Oh, got to remove that from scene. Do you do anything outside of military, like construction? You do construction. You do mostly social media, documentary stuff. What's your main focus?
So I won't say I have a main focus because whatever the clients called me for, I just show up and shoot.
I got you.
Some call for films, some call for real estate, some call for different things. But I try as much as possible to learn every niche so that in case anyone calls for, I deliver well.
Well,
I
in
hear
the
you.
chat,
What?
they like your work. They're complimenting your work in the chat. I
Oh,
forgot
thank you.
to put your channel, so there's your channel right there where you can check out Stephen.
Well,
We
there's a
still have
link
a
in
little
the
bit of time.
description for.
Go
There's a
ahead,
link in
Herman.
the description. There's a link in the description for his
Your
YouTube and
Instagram and YouTube. We have
what I
an
wanted to ask you is that, like, I know you said you shoot for like clients that like want like stuff for film and stuff like that,
Yeah.
documentaries and stuff like that. Is there anything that we may have seen, like in the movies, that you may have shot for that we don't know that you were the one that shot it, or
Come again?
is there any movies that may have been out there in the movies that we know of that you shot for?
Yeah, I've done quite a lot. You can check on Netflix. I flew for one Tukumbo.
you
To
got you send me the link to that when you get a chance.
Of
Send me the
course.
link and I'll definitely take a look and pass it on. I
Okay.
put your in the chat. I put your YouTube channel. I do. You are on Instagram also. Semostev Media, correct?
Media. Yes, correct.
So I will put that. I will put in the chat on Instagram. Insta. Just search for this name here if you guys, because I know a lot of people are on Instagrams. Some people use YouTube, some people don't. The Instagram seems to be the thing. Oh, now here's a question: how old are you?
I'm in my middle 20s.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Sixty.
Nothing. No, you don't have to give an exact number, but it's
yeah.
good to see a young man with his own business doing
Mhm.
things
Thank you.
for the positive.
Yeah.
You understand? And we appreciate you for that. Um, some people is I put it in your channel in the
Put,
chat. Some people
put
said they
that
have
link.
subscribed. What
Put
happened
that link. Put the link in the chat, Lawrence, because I don't know what happened with the
for the Instagram?
yeah, for his Instagram, because I don't know what happened with the channel upgrade. I don't know what happened with Evil Mux was doing
Okay,
some.
okay. Give me a second to scroll down. Nanook
And I'll put it in.
advertisements.
I'll put it in the description afterwards because it should have been in there because it was in there before.
Okay, okay. I will actually go to Instagram right now and do it so we
Mm.
can
Well,
get this out of
I'll
the
put
way.
it in. I'll put it in afterwards. Remember the crash that we had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I had to resend you the link because usually we program the show, and for some strange reason, it wasn't going to where it was supposed to.
Yeah, it crashed.
Mostep
It got
Media.
well, some difficulties, but we fixed it.
Yeah, so here it is. I got the Instagram link,
So
copy, put it in the chat, drop, joint, click his Instagram too. You guys can see he does a lot of shorts. Now, what do you like to do more? Do you like to do shorts or you like to do documentary stuff? Because I personally like to do documentary, but shorts get more views.
Yeah, I love doing more of shots so that
okay.
I show more of how I fly, you understand? Because if I shoot more of documentary, you can't just use FPV throughout the documentary. You have to mix it with the camera shot. So for my
Yeah.
page, I do more of uploading more of my flying, you understand, so that people can see how I fly and how I'm capable of flying.
Now, is there like here in the United States, you need to be a Part 107 pilot to fly drones and make money, and is there something similar to that in Africa or in Nigeria that you like a pilot's license that you need to be able to do this? Because if
Yeah,
you
we,
know,
we
then I'm moving to Africa and I'm flying forever.
yeah we do have you have to register your drone then get a license. But it's so
Okay.
tedious to get a license because you have to go to the DSS, that is the state service, to get your license for security reasons and all. That's why most people in Africa, most drone pilots in Africa, they don't have license except the commercial drone pilots.
Okay, okay. Well,
Okay.
you seem I like the fact that you don't focus on one thing. You focus on anything that comes at you. That's kind of like what me and Herman do. They
Well,
ask
the
us what do
viewers will
we do.
dictate to you what they want done.
Right, right. Let me see. Let me check the chat real quick. If anyone has any questions, they might want to ask. Some takeoff, lift, and land from the Bronx says, "Simo Steve, keep working, keep doing, keep doing what you're doing." Hey, Gary, what's up? How are you? Hope all is well. Um, Let me see. Now, what size drones do you like to fly? What size drones do you fly? 5 inch, 7 inch
Yeah, I
for these
fly
jobs?
I fly any. So in my drone arsenal, we have the Cinelog 35 V2. We have the Nazgo Evoque, that's a 5 inch, and we have the Ball 57, which is this. Yeah. So
Okay, so because I was wondering, I know a guy who chases boats, and the only thing I have a 7 inch that does 63 miles per hour. I don't know how that's converted to kilometers, but I have a 7 inch that goes that fast, and most guys like 7 inches drones for the speed.
for the speed, I prefer using the 5 inch because it's more faster. It's more faster. I just feel 7 inches more of cruising and for long range.
Okay, okay. Well, that's interesting to know because I have a guy that was on FPV Corner, and like I said, he chases speedboats when they're racing, and all he has are 7 inch drones. He likes 5 inch, he likes, but he favors 7 inch drones. And I was wondering what you were doing these chases with. That's crucial. Do you do your own work? You fix your own birds?
I do for now. I don't build because I'm more of filming.
Oh,
But
so
for the
now you
right,
can. So hold on. So now you're big.
Got a
You're big
mechanic.
enough to afford to pay somebody to repair your drone.
uh, I don't really crash that much. But when I crash, I try to. Of course, I know how to fix some one or two things, but to disassemble the quad,
Yeah.
couple them together, is just so hard for me. It's not my niche. But sometimes I go to the drone group, I ask some question, I tell them my problem, this is what I'm facing, this is how I crashed, and they
Right.
tell me this, do that, take some pictures of video, then upload to the group, and they
Okay.
tell me what to do.
Well, I hope you keep doing what you're doing so you can get a guy to pay. You could pay a guy to fix your drones. You crash, you go here, fix it. I hope you
Yeah.
keep on with progress. I wish you big success.
Thank you.
And hold on, let me make sure. Did I put his Instagram in the chat? I did not. If I here it is again. If I did, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Keep doing what you're doing. I will
Thank you.
keep following you, and maybe in the future we could have you on to see how much more you've done.
Sure, definitely.
You
Okay, I
still got time.
appreciate you. What you say, Herman?
I thought you still had more time.
Yeah, we got about you got time to hang out. You got another 6 minutes to hang out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I know it's 11:14 p.m. there, correct?
Yes, 11:14, you're right.
All right, you're a young guy. You don't go to bed early
No, 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 no. I'm actually practicing on the simulator
on a
before I
simulator. See, that's a true FPV. Now, tell me something about Nigeria I don't know.
Yeah, Nigeria is a cool place. It's very good. You have a lot of stuff to film, a lot of nature, a lot of safaris and all. Depend on the states you find yourself. And we are welcoming, yeah, trust me.
All right,
And our drone laws are not as serious as United States. Like you guys, your
oh
drone laws are so strong. Like I don't think I can survive my good day because I
yeah,
fly.
you could survive here. You could survive
Yeah,
here.
you could.
It's just you just have to do everything by the book. They want to see it on paper. They want to
Okay.
see everything on paper, everything you're going to do, and things like that. Now, do you have to as a licensed pilot in Nigeria? Do you have to have insurance? Do you need insurance? Well, I
Um,
know.
it depends. Yeah, when you mean insurance, uh, first of all, I'll use production I work with. When they call me
Right.
for job, first thing I ask is, do they have insurance? Because most production here in Nigeria, they don't have insurance for equipment. You understand? So
Okay.
you as a pilot, you have to take your own insurance yourself. You understand? Or if you don't have money for insurance, you double charge. They pay you well so that in case anything happens to your quad,
Okay.
you
Okay.
Okay.
take the
But
consequence.
it's better to have some type of insurance to cover yourself in case you hit a car or something, and the guy, oh, you scratched my car. You have insurance.
Yeah,
That's what it's once again, it's not as strict there. It sounds like as here in the United States,
yeah,
because of here in the United States, you need insurance to walk your dog. You need insurance to cross the street. They try to get you to get insurance for everything. You
yeah.
know. Any new projects coming up? Tell me something new you're doing. 'Cause I know you're always working on something.
Yeah, I so by Sunday, yeah, I'll be shooting like a club party, you understand, indoors.
Okay.
So like an event, yeah. So I'm
Okay.
gonna use my Cinelog 35 V2 for that.
Okay.
So there's a film, I don't know if you check my page, my Instagram page, you'll see a movie poster. Like the first picture. I don't know if you
Yes, I
check
do see a picture with a mask.
with the mask, yeah. So it's a film, Netflix movie.
Okay, that's the
It's going to come
project
out,
that you're working
yeah.
on now. Yep.
It's coming out on the 18th of July.
On the 18th of July. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
I
need
feel
you to send me a list of stuff you're working on because like I follow you, but you don't post enough stuff in the Black Drone Pilots group. I guess you're busy all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, now you need to make enough money to hire a guy to fix your drones. You need to make enough money to hire someone to run your social media.
No, I run my social media myself.
We all do.
You
We all do. We have to.
yeah.
We have to. I get
If
it. I
I'm to
get
pay
it.
for someone that repairs my drone to do this, the bills will be so much. So I just try to learn one or two things then
Well,
till my
listen,
business grows and go to
as
another.
long as the business is going this way, right?
Yeah.
It's good. You're doing okay.
Yes.
And you're enjoying what you're doing,
Very well.
True.
I do.
because if you didn't enjoy what you were doing, you could see it in the work.
Yeah.
And
I
I
do.
must lie, I must admit, it's fun watching other people do what you enjoy doing. Like
Yeah.
I don't do many tricks. I do a lot of cruising. I don't do no tricks. I barely do a flip here or there, but I enjoy watching people dive other buildings, or like you, I enjoy watching you chase vehicles or boats.
Yeah.
For
I,
example,
I
there's a boat scene that you're chasing a boat. Were you on land, or were you in a boat when you did that?
no, I was actually on land in the seashore on a beach.
Okay,
So I
okay,
sent the drone inside the sea. I make sure those guys coming they are not too far from where I am, so I don't lose signal.
okay. So you dictate what you want and how you can shoot. That's good. That's good. That's good because sometimes you get a client and he says, "I want you to shoot this from this angle, coming some crazy way," and then sometimes you have to be able to tell them, "Look, that's not that. It's not
Possible.
that it can't be done, but it's not safe."
Yeah, I do speak up. Yeah. There are sometimes some directors will tell you to do some crazy shit that will land your drone in some crazy place. You just have to speak out and tell them, see,
Yeah,
I can't do this or this. Because I shot a commercial, yeah. Is yet to come out. So the director wanted me to fly indoors, but the indoor is not the roof is not really high enough, you understand?
right.
So people are around, a lot of people, so it's risky. I actually crashed on somebody.
You crashed on
I
somebody or
crashed
no?
on somebody. Like the director was persuading me, fly, 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 just and I didn't take the
Wow.
blame because he was actually pushing me to fly. So in as much they want to get a shot, I try to tell them safety first in everything you do.
Yeah, yeah, you
Just
have to stick with that. Always hold your guns. Never sacrifice, losing a bird or someone getting injured. But
Yeah.
is there anything you want to say before you get out of here? I mean, it's I haven't been even looking in the chat. I don't even know what they're talking about in the chat. But I just wanted to have you come on because I just started doing this FPV corner thing for a little while, and I was like, I like his flying. He's an FPV pilot, and he doesn't do all the flippy flip stuff that everyone else does. Let me see if Stephen will come on, and you were able to, and I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Anything,
coming on.
Herman? Huh?
No, I'm listening to him. I was like, I thank him for coming on. I was like, I've seen his videos, I see what he does, and I've seen some of his other stuff. But the whole movie thing was what I was really interested in. So he said shot a few movies, and I want to see that movie that you did.
Yeah, we want to see that movie.
Check that out.
So
I
so for the movie, I didn't really fly much of FPV. I just flew for one scene, but the remaining I flew the traditional
It
drones.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do you know a guy called me for 8 seconds of footage? He wanted 8 seconds of footage, and I haven't even seen it, but he paid me for it. Who cares? As long as you get paid for it, a few seconds in a movie. We have footage that a guy is documenting that he hasn't even come out finished the movie yet because he's got to get actors and stuff. So we know what it is. Listen, any little bit that you do, I want to be able to say, "Hey, I knew that guy. I know him." If I see a name up in a movie, drone pilot, in a movie or something, I look for those things. You know,
Yeah,
so keep doing what you're doing, man. Okay,
yeah.
and
Thank you.
and I will definitely keep in touch. Keep in touch. Let us see some of that footage.
Okay.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on again. We
Yeah.
appreciate you very much. I know
It's late
Nigeria is
over there.
almost halfway around the world, and people, you're a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's kind of late over there, so we want to let you go right now, so that way you can. I know you
All
want
right.
to get on that simulator. And it's kind of late.
Yeah.
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 All right, man.
I
Thank you so
hate
much.
having to
I
ask you
will
to be
speak.
on this late.
All right.
I will speak to you in Messenger
All right.
soon. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right,
you,
man.
man. I
Welcome.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, and that concludes FPV Corner.
Cool. I mean,
Stephen Okafor
he's
from
doing.
Nigeria. If you haven't seen his work, this is a clip of his right here. Go to his channel, show him some support, like we do, people.
There's a link
We
in the description now for his.
Okay, great, great. I
So
put
you
it
can.
at that's his YouTube, and I just put duh, that's the YouTube, and the Instagram is here. Show the young man some support. He does some great work. A lot of his stuff is top notch, definitely top notch. I've been following and supporting him for a while in a drone group on Facebook, like I said. So, here we go. I have the Instagram link right here. Put that in the chat also. Thank you much. Thank you, Jim. Jim, appreciate you. Now, the hard part.
The hard
You know what it is, Herman?
part.
Finding next week's pilot. Because it starts over. By the time a day or two goes by, we're already starting to plan the live stream for next week. Yeah,
But
it's a never-ending thing, but we love what we do. That's why we've been doing it for so long.
what I
So,
wanted,
so no, I'm not even gonna say it.
I wanted to get into that sponsor that we missed because we missed it, and then because we're behind.
Yes, yes.
Jonah there. If you're Part 107 and you're looking to scale your operations, you want to get out and do all the work and leave all of the booking and appointments and meeting new clients to someone else, then Jonah there is for you. A place where you can find tools to make you a more knowledgeable pilot. Then Jonah there is for you. A place where you can build your own website, show off your work. Then Jonah there is for you. Get out and do the work. let Dronadere do all the stuff inside the office. Dronadere. There's a link in the description. Check it out. And we're back.
Yeah, D-Mac, that might be interesting. You do fly FPV.
What's up, B-Mac?
What happened?
I was just saying, what's up to B-Mac?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be interesting. I'll I'll hit you up on Facebook, and we will plan something, definitely.
What you planning? What you planning?
Okay, Neo. I'm just looking at different pages and trying to keep with the schedule. So we still got to go ahead.
Yeah, I know we got a couple of things left to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have another sponsor too, but let's go. I guess we can go right into the next thing, right?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, because I mean, if Louisiana did it, why not? New York seeks drone.
Yeah, New York City. For you locals here in New York.
New York, because NYPD is seeking the rights from the feds to be able to do this. And as we know right now, only Homeland Security, the military, and a couple other government agencies have the right or the ability to take out drones, whether it be kinetic or not. We spoke about this last week, right? We mentioned that.
Kinetic and non-kinetic weapons to take down drones.
We all spoke about what was the difference. We know we do remember what the difference was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, kinetic is physical. Non-kinetic is non-physical, but
Right. So
radio waves, X-rays, some type of energy beam, laser. That's
Right.
non-kinetic, and then kinetic has to do with anything
firing.
Right. Yeah,
So-
kinetic. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the talk is that, and everybody is saying how unsafe this might be. But I mean, I'm listening to the talk about how unsafe it may be, but I've also listened to the talk from the other side. And with New York knowing that, they know that they don't have the ability to do this, they do have the ability to track drones, to see where these drones are coming from, who's the pilot and stuff like that. Right now, they can do that.
Registration number, email.
They can locate, drones in the area and the pilots and stuff like that right now. They can do that. But they're going to the federal government to seek to do this. And the reason why, and one of the things that they've mentioned is the fact that wow, there's been over how many? Good God. The amount of flights, drone flights, that they say is 75,000 drone flights already for this year alone that they've tracked in the airspace over New York City. Now, let's keep in mind, in the world of the propaganda machine, this could be drones flying legally and illegally, and they'll lump them all together. But they did say, and we've spoken about this, and Lawrence speaks about it extensively, and how they are taking down data. So they've said themselves that there's been over 75 flights tracked. So I don't know. You have what, Lawrence, a video or whatever?
Yes, I do have a video that was just recently released here
It's the
in New
news,
York City.
because the news is covering this story right now here in New York.
Yeah,
So
here we go.
because it means nothing.
My
anymore.
business has taken me all over the world, and one day my son will take over.
The family business.
Yeah, Noel, we've covered these mysterious drone sightings here in Brooklyn before, including those spotted over the Verrazano Bridge last year. Now the NYPD says they're done watching, saying it's time to act. Take a look at this post on social media over the weekend. This was posted just yesterday, saying the time for NYC to have the power to take down dangerous drones is now. Right now, they can track drones, but that's it. As it stands, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says even if there's a clear threat, they can't do anything to stop it. She says only a few federal agencies can legally interfere with a drone, and those teams are usually only deployed at the nation's biggest events. Tisch argues that that's not enough and says New York can't afford to wait for Washington when there's something flying overhead. Now, according to Commissioner Tisch, the NYPD tracks over 75,000 drones in New York City this year, and that number is expected to rise this summer. In Bay Ridge, Edric Robinson, News 12 Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's
Now,
that.
now I want to bring something to your attention. Last fall, right? They had a drone. They said it legally flew over the Mets playoff game.
Hmm.
And now here's the thing: they're going to say that this drone flew over 10,000 fans at Citi Field. Now we understand that's what they are saying that those drones that are operating. But you see, here's the problem, and here's what's happening with these kind of incidents. Watch what I'm gonna say to you. Don't for only one time think that I don't believe that it could be more propaganda as well. Um, you know, they're labeling and saying that these drones and these drone operators are a threat to public safety.
We just had a guy hit a helicopter, hit an aircraft in Texas,
Right. Just like the guy hit the super scooper or the pooper super
in
scooper
Canada. Yep.
was that in California it was?
No,
Yeah,
in
with the
Canada
fires in
during the.
California.
Oh yes, sorry, I'm thinking something else. Yes, in
Yeah,
California.
yeah.
Yes, and then you had the gentleman that the helicopter couldn't take off because he was busy recording a car accident.
hmm
Yeah,
These
yeah.
things are
So
what they're calling a threat to public safety.
yes. So if you
You
say
know,
I'm just going up to get pictures, know when, where, and how.
I don't know. I mean, they're seeking permission from the feds to make this possible. They want to have to be able to mitigate drone flight, to be able to take your drone down for flying over any places and crowds and stuff like that. And it's funny because you know I know here in New York, whenever they have an event, many big parades and stuff like that, um, fireworks or whatever, they
Hmm.
always say that it's a no drone zone, no flying here. Leave your drones at home. Just come and enjoy the event.
Yep.
And I remember when there was the whole talk about guys having when Louisiana had proposed, said they had signed a bill like this. There was talk with guys were saying, well, what if you have certain waivers? Well, I don't care if you have the friggin' waiver or not. If you're not part of the operation, you don't fly there.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, what do you mean? I got a waiver to fly over people. You have a waiver to fly over people. Fly over the people in the event that you are operating in, not the event that's happening here. You know what I mean? I just don't. I mean, listen, I get it. Guys want to stand firm to the whole federal law, and the FAA, and no local. Well, you can do that until they lock your ass up and tase you and whatever else they want to do to you, and on your way down to the precinct. But I mean,
Hmm.
like, listen, you gotta respect these local laws that they come up with, even whether they're crazy or not, until you're able to fight them the right way.
True.
And that's
This is
why
true.
I always, in the description of every show, have a link for you to be able to get in touch with Ryan Latourette or with Vic Moss, if necessary, because there's a lot of guys who stand firm and stand strong on a lot of things, and standing firm and standing strong, you gotta know when to pick your battles and when not. When to, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for real.
So,
Um,
and New York's not playing with this. They're gonna get something
and,
happen.
and it's not just happening in New York. You guys don't pay attention to your local laws, and things are happening right under
All
the
over the
table,
country.
and you don't even have a clue because first of all, you're not looking for it, and second of all, some of you guys don't even hear half the shit we do stories on.
Well, other than that, but I'm just saying a lot of these things are popping up in local, your local
Yep.
city, your towns, your towns, city, state. And all this is happening across the country everywhere now. And
Mm-hmm.
why do you think something like this is happening? Because this is not only happening at the Mets game, it's happening in other cities and states. And the guys are being labeled as a nuisance.
Yeah. Yeah. And if
And
you listen to the video, they said
threat to
75,000.
public safety.
But hold on, that number is crazy. 75,000 drones were documented in
Once,
New York.
once
And
again,
I can guarantee you this, 90% of them were in the five boroughs here where we live.
once again, I can tell you that some of those are probably legal flights,
Yeah, yeah,
and
a lot of them are. A lot of them are
they'll just
commercial
lump them
flights.
all together to make this story sound sensational.
That's true, but because a lot of them have to do with police. Now gunshots go off, drones launch from the top of precincts.
Well,
The 4th of July, they hang out on top of precincts and fly drones to see where people are doing fireworks, where they're hiding the fireworks in the cars. They've been doing it it's been going on for over a year now,
mhm. Oh yeah.
and
Listen, this all started with Chula Vista. They
with,
were the first
yes,
ones to
yep, police
launch.
department, yep,
They're the
we
first
did
ones
that
to launch
story.
a program where their drones respond to first response. They're first on the scene.
Yep,
New York has adapted that in a few precincts.
yep.
Central Park. I think there's one up if I'm not mistaken.
There's one at one
There's,
police plaza. One
there's two
police
out
plaza.
here.
Yes, there's two in Brooklyn, and there's one uptown somewhere.
Right.
Oh, I know Central Park. Central Park Police
Right.
Department has its own too.
One of the precincts is in this area.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about anybody else, but if there's gunshots or anything responsive of robbery or anything, they want to get drones up in the air. Well, guess who might be flying around in the area that could be in the way of operations?
Mm-hmm. Like the perfect
So stuff
example.
like that is either going to have to be worked out, or with the ignorance of the whole thing, just eliminate the problem.
Well, here's a perfect example. It's beach season here in New York City,
Mhm.
and we've had more shark sightings so far than any other part of the whole East Coast of the United States. Right
I
now,
got one for you.
Queens, the southern New York, has more shark sightings in the last few weeks, Herman,
Mhm.
and it's due to drones. Now, people know if whether you fly a drone or not, you got to know the police fly drones along the beach.
I got one for you about that,
What's
Lawrence.
that?
The sharks are co-conspirators, because
That's
normally we can stand in the street by right there on the edge of Beach Ninth at the end of the road
hmm
and fly out over the beach, but we can't for two reasons: because the sharks are in the water, so the police are flying over the beach.
yep, yep. Yep. Now they say we can't fly from the beach because it's part of New York City Parks Department, which is true. But the spot where Herman's talking about, I call it the runway because it's actually city property that goes to the very end of the beach. So now we don't fly over the beach because of the people. We don't fly over the boardwalk because of the people. And in order to fly, you have to go out over the water. And like Herman said, this time of the year, when they're looking for sharks, you can't do it because the police are flying.
In the
And
past, they will let you fly.
right, right. Now, because of rules and certain laws, the police have the right of way.
So
And you just you have to take heed. So instead of even risking that,
and just
it's
because I
really
have a
Tom.
waiver, that doesn't mean I can go and just supersede whatever the police are doing there.
It's Tom said, yeah, I agree. That is where they live. It is. That's how they're able to. It's actually one of the spots along the northeast coast
Ooh,
where they
that's
tend
where
to
who
linger
lives.
around. The sharks linger around before they head further north to the
That's where
nursing
who lives.
area. Huh?
The sharks. I'm gonna go to the people who live up the street and ask them to throw more bread in the water and dirty up the water so they don't come back. So
V Matt goes, look at the bikini on the shark. I actually have a shark tracker in my phone
no, but seriously,
because
though, in the past, Lawrence, the
Mhm,
waters weren't as clean.
that's
So
true.
now that it's clean and there's more food there, they're coming they're early this year. They showed up early this year. They showed up with the squirrels.
Yes, yes, yes. This year we have had early sightings. Um,
This is extremely early.
yeah, yeah. And
But
it's
maybe the
funny
hot
because they're
weather has
traveling
to do with
past
it
here, they're
too.
migrating past here, following the food going up north
But
to
maybe
where
the
they do
hot
most of their
weather,
nursing.
the early hot weather had something to do with it too.
I think so. The water got warmer and the fish are up here earlier than usual, the bunker fish.
Hmm.
Yes, it's true. You're seeing more dolphins and whales in the Rockaways. 15,
Yep.
a, 1,000 times cleaner than 15 years ago. Definitely.
Oh
The
wait,
horseshoe crabs are back. There's a wildlife is back in Jamaica Bay. You have rabbits, frogs, everything back there
we should
now.
see less crabs the cleaner the water gets.
That's well, yeah, that's true. And actually, jellyfish
Yeah,
came up for the first time this year
hold on.
off
For
the
those,
coast of Rockaway as well.
for those of you, I mean, I found out something that kind of made me a little sick.
What's that?
Okay, the Gowanus Canal,
Mm-hmm.
they're finding oysters in the Gowanus Canal.
They're what?
Yeah, they're finding oysters in the Gowanus Canal.
Ooh,
They come
ooh.
fully equipped with their own flashlights.
Are they're finding oysters and ooh, that's
Yeah,
nasty. For those of you who don't know what the Gowanus Canal is, Google
when
it.
when I flush, if there's no more room, it goes over there. No,
Yes. Yes, the Gowanus Canal is so toxic that a dolphin got in there by mistake and died before he could get out. That's how toxic that water is.
no, the
And they
Gowanus
built
Canal has 12 feet of sludge that
hmm
they're cleaning out, and they're finding that oysters are starting to.
that's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy. The oysters are starting to
and
grow there.
they have their own flashlights.
Because they glow. That's funny. He said the
No,
oysters have their own
the
flashlight.
water has a nice heavy tint of green.
Yeah. And from the top, a bird's eye view, I took a photo. You can see the oil slicks on top of it. I'm
But
serious.
they've been cleaning it for the last 5 years now, and they said they were almost there.
I don't see how. Seriously, it still smells like poop over there. You know? I'm just saying.
Because you remember they had the barges and the pumps, they were pumping the sludge out.
hmm Yeah, they were
Yeah,
pumping out all that mud and soot and toxic stuff.
they
I have
cleaning
it
it
right
out.
here. I have
I
it
can
right here.
almost guarantee you that you could probably grow stuff with that.
Herman, I have it
Right.
right here. Let me show this picture really quick. This is the inlet to one of the to the canal stream deck right here. This is a bird's eye view, and I
Where
did
is it?
not see
I don't see it.
this window. Here it is. I did not see this until after I took the picture. But you see all of this white stuff in the water? This is on Smith and Knight, Herman. Can you see it?
Yeah.
You see the water? That's
But
the
that,
stuff floating on
but
top of the
that's the
water at this
but that's
place.
the good side. You gotta
Yeah,
go
this is the
down.
clean side.
You gotta go down by where, oh heck, well we're doing the shots for
What street are you talking about?
right there by Bond, right
Okay.
on Bond, and is that President? Yeah,
It's a possibility. A very
it's three
strong
different
possibility.
construction companies there.
You're right. I know the name. I have a folder with the names of them in it. You know that's a shame. All of the
Yeah,
construction companies in that area.
but
Uh,
anyhow, yeah,
yeah.
that's the side where where they're building up condos for everyone to live, and if they can't have people live there with that sludge in that water,
Okay. Mega Contracting, Manhattan
yes,
Management,
them, yes, yes, mega,
Kiwanis Constructions, all of those guys over there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. From the stuff we've gotten over there. Yeah. It, they're all in that area. Just buildings are going up like freaking growing like grass over there.
Or they're building a whole new city over there,
Yeah,
and
true.
everybody's building leads out onto
It leads out to that canal right there that
walkway
I
on the
showed you a
canal.
picture.
So they got to clean that up. And they're gonna make it nice and pretty. Don't worry about it. But you know what I
You think
wanted to
so?
talk to you about, Lawrence?
What's that?
You know, we're talking about another deadline missed. Yeah, another deadline.
NPRM.
Yeah, the Beyond Visual Line of Sight (NPRM) is still
Mm-hmm.
awaits on publication. It's what 33 days since
Mm-hmm.
President Trump signed the
The
executive order.
executive orders. Yeah.
So these executive orders, as we knew and we thought was supposed to have been the 30-day start to the 30 days deadline that they had to publish the notice of proposed rulemaking for
Right.
the Beyond Visual Line of Sight. And the entire drone industry was happy about this when they heard this because they had finally put this thing that everyone was waiting for. And even Vic Moss himself was happy about it. But the fact that they put um, Beyond Visual Line of Sight, which everyone is calling Part 108, first, and now the community is still waiting. But as you know, along going through from the IPP plan, everything is nothing has met its deadline. Not one thing that we've seen come through has met its actual deadline. And why not beyond visual line of sight? It's still waiting, and we're going to continue to wait. You know, I don't know. Well, like I said, when they unleashed the unleashing American drone dominance, we thought that we were going to see it because they put it in the forefront,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Knowing that they were just going to let it sit and
yeah,
fester
waiting.
and boil.
Well, I mean,
And
not knowing that they were going to do this, but I mean, I think that a lot of agencies have been so gutted and decimated
hey, Rob and Sue.
as far as funding and stuff like that in the government in the last few months or whatever, that these things are going to take time, and I think that with the waiver situation, the way they've said that they have what now 190 waivers, um, it was it they had over 190 waivers by October of 2024. So I mean, they're saying that the system is bad. They need to change the system. So they need to get this going, so it can there's an easier path to it. And like I said, we thought that we were getting a path to it, but the problem, what I'm seeing with everything, with this, you talk about beyond visual line of sight, and this not meeting the deadline. You talk about another deadline missed, and my problem with this here happening, and this is something that benefits American drone companies as well as American drone companies.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
well,
as far as service providers and as well. So when I look at that and we talk about not meeting another deadline,
hmm
what I wanted to get into was the reason why the stories that I covered tonight and I put these things together the way I put them together was for a reason.
you see what Tom put
What?
in
Oh,
Part 108, beyond visual line of sight will not apply to the majority of 107 pilots since we will be
we, we,
classified as
we,
private pilots.
we do understand that. We do understand that, Tom. But the problem what I'm looking at is the fact that there's a lot of these agencies that are have been cut, and a lot of cuts to some of these agencies that why they're not meeting and not being able to meet deadlines. And I think that this may be extended, maybe even longer than we think. Now, I don't, do I know? No, I don't. I'm just guesstimating, assuming, assumption, whatever you might say. But the problem that I have with it, I'm looking at the way with, cuts and stuff like that. And I looked at the way money was allocated in the, what was that, the big, beautiful bill for the drone industry and where a lot of the money went to. I'm afraid that with stuff like that happening, things like this and more deadlines will not be met. And
hmm
everybody in the chat and guys who are lurking, guys who are not in the typing in the chat or whatever, I don't know. People listening, going in and out, if you hear it later. Um, the problem I'm having with the what's going on and everybody talks about drones being such a small, intricate thing. It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It is a technology that is being used, and you have proven to the federal government that it is good and it works.
Yep.
So now
We
they
the
want
people.
they want a piece of it, and they've said that they've learned from the war in Ukraine. I'm afraid that with the things that is being said about hobbyist pilots being a threat to public safety, and the things that are being said, and the fact that some of these government agencies have been decimated, that when we talk about DJI needing to have these audits done, that the agencies that could hire these guys or be able to pay for this audits to be done,
hmm
there's no funding there for it to happen. And I'm afraid that that may be a situation that we might have to, we may run into. So and I'm not trying to create mass hysteria, but I'm just trying to show you that where things point to. And I look at how the way things are going, and to continue to call drone pilots threat to public safety. You know, anything that you do in this world, whether you do it to the best of your ability or the least of your ability, the guy that does it illegally will shape how you are seen. You understand? The guy who does it illegally will shape how what you do is seen, whether you want to believe that or not.
Well, Tom puts, without a consumer drone available, the community is hobbled. The U.S. is embarrassed that it didn't focus its energy on counter UAS. Hmm. Hmm.
You know
Ding,
what?
ding,
You're
ding, ding,
right,
ding.
because they're looking to focus there now,
Yep.
and I think that the United States is so far behind in the entire drone industry that I don't think that there's a focus. Just how there was no focus on a drone industry, there's no focus on a consumer drone industry in the United
Yep.
States.
Nope, there
everybody
isn't.
everybody twinkle toes around the thought and the speech of it. I'm gonna speak it to what I see. You understand? And I think that from what I'm looking at with my government, and I find that with the ideology of I don't care, because I've heard him say it.
Yeah, yeah, this is true.
Um, I'm hoping, and I don't know if there is the money to be able to get those audits done, no matter how hard DJI pushes and tries to get them done. But also, what also doesn't help is the guys showing up to help them label the guys in this community that respect the hobby, respect what they do,
Mm-hmm.
being considered as nuisance and a threat to public safety. You understand? I think we need to call those guys out when they are, what they do, as for what they do. And I'm just saying,
It's true, Tom. Consumer level drones to the Mavic 4 line are mainstay for many small businesses of 10 or less employees. You're
and it
100% right about that.
and it is.
Yes,
You
you're
know what I'm
100%
saying?
right about that. And those,
I spent a little over $5,000 on a drone last September, for Lawrence and I to do what we have to do. I don't know what that drone. At one point, that drone was going to almost double. When they
yep,
suspended the tariffs,
yep,
the
yep,
price went back down. I can't imagine having to do that now.
yeah,
What the
yeah.
price, and then the price would have to kick over to the customer. They would just
Hmm.
start phasing this thing out.
It
Because
would be cheaper to just kill everything.
right, because I saw a company that actually had a guy walk around with his cell phone and get the progress photos for the
Yeah,
job,
yes, yes. It's
and they were
disgusting.
good with that.
Yep. Right. If right. Companies are cool with you walking up to a building and taking pictures from the ground with their phone, with your phone. They are cool with that, but they're also cool
Well,
with hiring us to get a picture from the air.
but what I wanted to get into is saying seriously, I don't want guys to start because there's a lot of talk about drone ban, drone ban, drone ban. There's no drone ban, drone ban, drone ban, drone ban.
Ron
I
says it's
mean,
not the government's responsibility to move an industry forward.
well, you see, that's part of the reason why we were behind, and we all talk about how China subsidizes these industries, these drone companies, and these companies, period, to make sure that
Yeah.
they're able to do business. And it's also not in the business of the government to cripple companies either, especially the way that certain administrations speak. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all about companies flourishing or supposedly, but for with DJI being considered as the Uyghur forced labor uh, uh, prevention act. So DJI, as from what I'm understanding, is that's the issues with them, and this is why their drones are not coming through customs. It has nothing to do with tariffs. It has nothing to do with the fact that DJI doesn't like you. You know what I mean? And that is it is now from what I'm understanding also that the care refresh and all of that has also been suspended for a while until I guess this is all
Yep.
worked out. There's a lot to unpack with this, and guys, just fly what you have right now until this is worked out. I'm hoping that it will work out, and really, it all comes down to is really, believe it or not, is money, and
True.
uh, whether the money is there or not to be able to even get these audits done. Or even if there's an organization within the government that's even still available to have the audits done.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Well, guys, it's that magic time.
do you got anything to say, Lawrence? 'Cause I've been talking for too long.
No, because it was a peaceful rant. It wasn't a rant. It was peaceful. Um, it was a peaceful talk. You didn't raise your blood pressure. You didn't get loud. So,
I just
so
I just don't like what's happening. I don't like the nonsense. Listen,
trust me.
propaganda. See, I'm a realist. I love my country, but I know we're the propaganda machine.
Yeah, this is true. I have the same love for my country as well. I just wish the U.S. needs to support innovation by providing grants and subsidies.
They
Providing
should.
grant dollars for research and development is well placed. Agreed tenfold. But that's after all of the firing of regulations and regulators is done. Maybe they will see that. We're behind because provide industry did not invest in the drone industry. It's not just the drone industry. It's the world,
It's a lot of
electronics.
things.
Period.
Period.
It's your cell phones. Your
It's a
come
lot of
on.
things. Period. You know, I
Yes.
remember when we were told that if we allow our companies, our American companies that were operating Motorola, all of these people operating and manufacture everybody here, Ideal, all these companies right here, and we said if these companies were allowed to go overseas and manufacture at at, at cheaper, then they could bring the products back to us at a less cost. That's what we
And
were
we can
told
make
years
more
ago.
money.
And right, and we fed into that shit, and we decided to focus on other things.
Hmm.
And then we watched the computer that we
While
came up
stripping
with.
shop classes
We
out of
watched the
schools.
we watched the computer that we developed revolutionize in China.
Yeah, yeah. At the same time, while taking shop classes, Herman, out of schools and
Right.
teaching, telling kids they didn't need to write in script anymore, I could give a list of things. But with that, we got to get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's about that time for dinner. Yeah, well, you know what, Lawrence? Anything else you want to say to the
No, just I usually say be safe, fly safer, or fly your drone until you can't anymore. Now I'm just saying when you fly your drone,
dead hands?
when you fly your drones now, do the research because Homeland Security here in New York, they've been rolling up on people and giving and mailing out warnings. That's all I'm going to say.
Uh-oh, look out.
That's all.
Stay on for one more light, Gary.
One more like
How many
Gary's
is that going to get
he
us?
pushes for us to get us that 30, bro. He pushes for that 30 all the time. He comes up in here. Come on, somebody go get that bootleg account that you guys be lurking from.
Hey, you guys, make sure you check out some of the work that Angie's doing. She's doing some real nice stuff over there.
Yes,
I think
yes,
she got some
yes.
AI software she's working with.
Listen, we gotta get her on here one day with us again to hang out for a little bit. We'll work on that. Until next week, guys. Same time, same channel. Um, God willing, hopefully we'll be here. And with that,
Hey, guys.
we out.
And we'll see you next time with those
Those guys.
guys.
I love those guys.
I love you too, but we got to go. See you guys later. Good night,
Yes.
everyone.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Yeah. Okay.